Here's how you get paid more for the value that you deliver to your clients out there in the marketplace. And what I'd like to do is to give you some ideas that I've seen in the market and also some experiences from my own life. And this links into a previous video where I said I would share with you how I made £8,363 per page for some content that I'd created. But to start with, what I need to do is I need to make sure that we're actually looking at this in the right way. And so, as you can see, I've put a slide there which simply says, and I'm looking at my other screen here, money is the silent applause for a job well done and value delivered to others. And if we have that thought in our mind, that that's what money really is, it's the silent applause for a job well done, then you'll understand where I'm coming from with this. That I'm not coming into a way where we're trying to rip off our clients or get paid for what we haven't delivered. So money is the silent applause for a job well done and value delivered to other people. The way I think of it is this, is that the outcome that my clients get will reflect the income that I get. The more outcome I give out, the more income that comes in. It's as simple as that. So let me start off, and I'll go back to the slides here and share this one particularly with you. I don't know if you know of this, the Golden Mailbox. This was created by Ted Nicholas, the genius that was Ted Nicholas, and similar genius, which is Stuart Goldsmith. It's a wonderful book, how to create informational products and market them by mail. It is fantastic, which is why it's called the Golden Mailbox. And when it was sold as a book, it was sold at £20. Talk about value, absolutely fantastic. However, what Ted and Stuart did, they used a concept which they don't call it, but I call it jigsawing. It's how can I take my content, my ideas, the methods that I share, and jigsaw them, cut them up into different ways of delivering them. And before I tell you what they did with theirs, with the Golden Mailbox as opposed to the book, let me just put this caveat around it. You and I know that different people have different learning styles. Some people like to be heavily involved and do things. Some people want to read maybe a book or an article. Some people want to listen to an audio, a podcast, where they've got their earphones in when they're, earpods maybe, when they're doing their walking or they're running or they're exercising. Some people like to watch, they love videos and webinars and live events. But a lot of people will learn faster when they use all of these elements together. Yes, they'll have a preferred one, but when they have the opportunity to immerse themselves in all of those elements, then we are compounding the opportunity for success so that they get the outcome that they came to us for in the first place. So that's the thinking that goes around this idea. So Ted and Stuart, they had the book, obviously, the Golden Mailbox, but then they turned it into a home study course. And as you can see there, it was sold as a 10-month program at £22.97 per issue, which was a total of £229.70 for the same information in the book, however delivered differently, delivered in such a way as to maximize the opportunity for the reader, the client, the customer to get the outcome that they wanted. Why? Because it was delivered monthly, there was plenty of opportunity between each issue to read it, to learn it, to take action with it, to get some results from it, and then compound that with the next issue and so on. Now, did everybody take action? No, of course they don't. That's not the way that life works, is it? So I knew about that idea, but a separate thing that I did on a couple of my books, which were these. So it was my book, The Secrets of Communication, and my other book, The Pinnacle Principle. And you can see the word count there. There's 60,000 words and 70,000 words. So I've got a total of 130,000 words in those two books. I have a different idea about books now, which I've learned from Dan Sullivan and Joe Polish, having smaller books, which going for higher readership rather than just higher sales. But as you can imagine, with those two, they sold together at £21.98. So if, for example, I'd sold 1,000 copies of those books, effectively, I'd received £22,000. Effectively, I'd be getting £67 per page. However, what I did was something different. I decided that in order to share those ideas in a more impactful way, that I would create a massive program. I got all of that material and I divided it into 36 different modules, and I called it the Accelerated Business Growth System. And for each module, I filmed some years ago as a DVD. We ripped the audio off there to make it into a CD, and then I created a massive workbook that contained a section for each of those 36 modules. It came in three 4-ring binders that gave additional information, action plans, templates, everything that anybody would need in order to actually take those ideas and get them into action. And we had some amazing results from clients with that. And of course, that changed the price. So rather than, if I come back here, rather than £67 per page, because we sold 1,150 of those at an average of 2,000. Some of them were selling at 3,000. Some of them in bulk were selling at 1,000. And then there was personalised versions for different companies and all the rest of it. But on average, we sold at £2,000, 1,150 copies of those, which you can see, because there was 275 pages, was £8,636 per page. So the point that I'm saying here is this, is that what different ways can you use in order to take your knowledge, your experience, your expertise, and what I call the magic ingredient, which is your take on it. That's where the real money is, by the way, as you know, your take on it, that special bit that you have that no one else has. Other people have knowledge, experience, expertise, but nobody has your take on it. How can you deliver that in a different way whereby it creates more value for the purchaser, for the client, for the customer, for whoever it might be, the reader, the watcher, the listener. And as a result, they are happy, they are delighted, they are ready, willing and able to pay at a higher level in order to learn that content in a way that they are far more likely to use it and far more likely to get the outcome they came to you for in the first place. I think you've got the idea of that. I've already given you some ideas there, haven't I? The fact that you could be on a paper, it could be audio, it could be video, obviously you all could be online. It could be that you had coaching or mentoring in with it. It could be that there's a live element to it, whether that's online or actually a physical event that people can go to. But all of these different ways of thinking about how do I add value to people? And therefore, how do I increase the value of every single piece of content that I create? Well, I think you can probably take that away and use it. Certainly make a difference out there in the market. So if you've enjoyed this video, there's lots of others that I've made on this whole topic, and they're around here somewhere. But in the meantime, I continue to wish you every success in all your adventures in life. From me, Peter Thomson, until I see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.